go. Money talks.
Here comes the money.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Charline. Welcome to Lunch with the Finance Bunch on Dash Talk Radio.
Welcome. And I'm God's Gift Matthew. How you doing today, Char?
I'm doing just great. We have RockRug to interview today. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. I almost did a drum roll, but I didn't want to be too loud.
I know. I'm going to do it anyway. You know what? I want to just say hello to you.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm really good. I'm excited to be here.
That's good. Girl, I got so many questions for you.
Brace yourself, Rocky. Brace yourself, please.
So, thank you. I had a little clap there going on. So, Rocky, I want to know, where are you originally from? Because that voice of yours is so beautiful. And you have this cute little, like, exotic kind of flair to it. So, where are you from?
I was born and raised in Sweden, but my mom is Swedish and my dad is West African.
Okay. So now I told you before we got on camera that I had a really hard time pronouncing your beautiful first name. I know we call you RockRug, but I want you to pronounce that beautiful first name for us.
Okay, Rugieto.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah, it's just really difficult to pronounce. That's why I go by Rocky.
Right? So how did you pick Rocky?
Actually, okay, so in Arabic, my name is pronounced Rokaya, and my twin sister, she started calling me Rocky from that. It was random. I didn't even like it at first. And
it stuck.
Yeah, well, it was actually when I moved here to America that people couldn't pronounce my name, so I needed a nickname, and I just started using Rocky. So,
nice. Yeah. Now, what is it like growing up with a twin sister?
Oh, it's great. I mean, when we were kids, we were terrible, but
that's the best part about it, getting as much trouble as possible.
Oh, yeah, we were terrible, but yeah, it's like having a best friend, like around you all the time. I love her to death, so it's definitely, it's weird because she almost feels like a big sister, so. Yeah.
So is she the oldest?
Yeah, 8 minutes.
Okay. Because I know twins take that serious. They're like, I'm the oldest by 5 minutes and 31 seconds.
Oh, we definitely do. I mean, she does.
So you get to be her little sister.
Yeah, I'm like her little sister, yeah.
That is funny. Now, one of the questions I had, first of all, let me just say this. So I was looking through your Instagram last night, and
brace yourself, Rocky. Brace yourself.
Okay, so Matt gave me instructions on how to look through Instagram. Because when I look through Instagram, I look through no matter how far down it is. If I like a picture, I just I like it. But he told me those are stalker moves and not to do it.
I had to teach her Instagram etiquette 101 because she was definitely over there scrolling week 221. Pictures, like,
oh, yeah.
I like this too.
Well, the thing that got me was I didn't know that if you double tap, I thought if you double tap, it makes the picture bigger.
Oh,
right?
No,
it hits the like. So I didn't do that. But I loved all the art, and I loved how you had it like scattered between other beautiful pictures, right? I love your art. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear stuff like that.
Oh, man. Speaking of your art, when did you start creating art?
I've been painting since I was a kid. Everybody on my mom's side paints, so yeah, I've been doing it since I was a kid.
That's what's up. So as a kid, you were always like a creative person?
Oh, yeah. I've always been just into the art and designing clothes. That's definitely been my thing.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Now, did you go to school for art, or because I read in your bio that you went to school for animation, right?
Yeah, I went for computer animation. I never really went for art, but with doing computer animation, you do have to take some art classes. Right. But I never really liked going to those classes. I don't like being forced to paint a certain object. I just don't feel creative. I never enjoyed that. So taking art classes definitely wasn't my thing. But computer animation definitely was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you just create art?
Yeah, I just create. It's just all up in there in the head.
That's
so little images.
What's the inspiration behind your art that you create?
Well, I'm a big fantasy nerd. Movies. Fantasy.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the fantasy nerds out there, baby. We love you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't expect it, but I'm a huge nerd, and I love fantasy movies, sci-fi movies. So a lot of my inspiration for my art, definitely what I'm focusing on right now is like Avatar and Lord of the Rings. So I paint what you call elvens,
Yes.
like elves, but
Yes.
it's called
Nice.
elvens. Yeah.
You beautiful ones.
Yeah, and it's women. I love
Yeah.
painting women. So yeah.
And I see curvy women as well.
Oh yeah, I love curves.
Shout out to the hourglass figure, by the way. I just need.
I
to
was
throw
gonna
that
say
out.
you did
All right,
notice that.
Gingy, holla. She's like, that's all me right there.
Oh yeah, I love it because I used to be so extremely skinny when I was younger because I have a really fast metabolism. And I would have friends complaining about them being thick or curvy, and I'm like, oh my god, you don't know what you have.
You're like, if I could
So
have your hips
beautiful.
right now, I would die.
Yeah, I would appreciate it so much. Like I love little extra something there. It's just so beautiful to me. So yeah.
So now, do you paint? Because in looking through, I saw you do predominantly paint women,
Yes, I do.
right? Yeah,
That's
and
all I
then
do.
that's all only women.
Yeah.
I like that. And you're into women empowerment too. I noticed that too.
Oh yeah, I definitely am. I think, especially, I think it was more so coming out here. I realized it's not. People talk about it, but they're not really about it. Even amongst friends, I've definitely noticed it, and I think it's really important to empower each other, even if it's somebody you barely know. I think it's so important, especially because I think people forget about where we were, as
Yes.
women, and we've come a long way, but we're still not equal,
No.
with men. So I think it's really important to uplift and to support anybody that you're around. I mean, even when it comes to men, but I think it's just really important for us amongst women to just support each other.
I believe you're right. I agree with you 100%. When I saw that you were motivated to support women and that you're a female advocate, I was like, wow, we need more of it, seriously,
Yeah.
because I think that especially like in the arts and in television, everywhere, you just don't see enough appreciation of what women contribute. So when I saw your art, I was
Absolutely.
like, man, let's do this. Like have
Yeah.
a big, art show or something.
What's your number one song, Char?
Huh?
I said, what's your number one song?
I'm not going to tell you.
Who run the world?
Girls, who run the world?
Girls,
Yes.
who run this mother?
That's my Beyonce.
Girls.
That's my Beyonce. Yeah.
Beyonce just came out.
That's my Beyonce coming out. So I got so many questions for you. Now, what was it like transitioning from living in Sweden to living in the States?
Ooh, huge difference.
Huge culture shock, right?
It was a huge culture shock.
Did you want to get back on the plane? Were you like,
Oh,
U.S.,
yeah.
it's been real?
It was close. A lot of bad things happened. I think coming out here, most Swedish people, I can definitely say, are very naive. So both me and my twin sister, we trusted basically everybody. Oh, people took our money. It was just terrible. Yeah, the first months here, it was terrible.
You're like,
I met
scammer,
yeah,
scammer.
Yeah, it was terrible. Like, we thought, oh, everybody's so nice. And no, oh my God.
Oh, my goodness.
I think that was definitely a culture shock because we don't really experience that in Sweden. And people are very real in Sweden. Kind of like New York people. I've been in New York and I really like how people are there.
Okay.
Very honest, genuine, and real.
Yeah.
And
You know
here
where you
it's a
stand
lot
with
of,
them.
here you kind of have to learn who's, real and who's fake, basically.
Right.
But I think that to me was definitely the biggest culture shock. And then, literally everything is just so different from Sweden here. But once you learn how it goes here, it's way easier.
So what was the first inclination to you that you wanted to stay? You're like, okay, I've gotten past the mistrust. I've gotten past
You got through all the bumps and
fakes
bruises.
and phonies and all the bruises. I'm staying. What was that point for you when you said, I'm staying?
That's actually a hard question because I think already from the start, even though we went through that, I still very much loved LA because there's always things to do here.
Yes.
I love the weather. I mean, Sweden, it's like cold 75%.
I was just about to say, if there's one thing to stay for, it's the weather.
Yeah,
I'd be
that
like,
was
I
the
hate
one
LA, but it's
thing.
70 degrees, so we're going to figure this out.
Yeah, I just already, as soon as I got here, I actually did feel like I didn't want to leave. And then as soon as I graduated, I was like, okay, you know what? I can't leave. This is too amazing. I don't see myself going back yet. I know, at this point, I just know, I'm going to be back and forth from Sweden here. So,
To hear.
yeah.
Now, do you practice your art there too? What I mean is do you sell art in Sweden and here?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I was pushing it more before. I had an art show, I think it was like 2015 with Lance Gross. And I was pushing it at that point, but it was going really well. But I don't think I was ready for everything that was coming for me, all the greatness, I guess I would say.
Right.
So I needed to take a
right
break.
now.
Yeah, it was going amazing, and I wasn't ready for it mentally, and I had to take a break and just really figure out where I wanted to go with everything. So everything kind of been on hold until recently when I had my the latest art and fashion show. So yeah, but before that, I definitely was selling both here and in Sweden. Well, everywhere. I've sold. Yeah, because it's online. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when did you realize you just were not a 9-to-5er? Because I know myself. When did you realize that? Like, did you ever have a 9-to-5 job?
Yeah, when I was working like part-time in Sweden, but it was for 6 months before coming here. But I've always known I couldn't do it. I've always been a creative person. And I've always known that if it's not something I'm passionate about, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to do the work. I'm going to be lazy. So
honest,
yeah,
that's
I always knew. I just had to figure out how to go about it and which direction I wanted to go. So I think that was the only thing I was struggling with at first. Yeah.
Wow. Now, when you create art, do you do it from like, I'm going to do this piece and then this piece and then this piece, or is it strictly from whatever comes up in your creative person?
It's usually I just get these random images in my head that I just want to paint down. But sometimes, for example, if I'm pushing towards an art show, I obviously have to finish a certain amount of paintings.
Right.
And then I just have to push myself creatively, and I'll like look at inspiration or whatever, something that's just going to trigger my my creativity. So then it's more like forced, I guess. But usually I just, go on top of my head and I just paint whenever.
So you can literally sit down and just...
Yeah. It's usually just, I get these, I don't know, I get images in my head of like something that I want to paint, and I paint it down, and it's just random, to be honest.
And typically, do you have like a time frame of like general like time of like how long it takes you to make each painting? Or is it just like, or do you end up sometimes like having an idea, starting it, coming back to it, doing a little bit more, coming back to it again, and then finalizing the piece?
Well, usually I'm a little bit impatient when it comes to painting, so I don't want to work for it for like a month, for example.
Got you.
I do want to finish it within a couple of days. And sometimes I do stay up I'll be up like all day, all night, just trying to finish a painting because, I don't know. I enjoy just finishing it immediately, and but usually, yeah, I'll do it like it'll take like a day and a night, and then I'll step back and just add little details and things like that. Because I always have to take a step back and be like, okay, there's something not right, or there's something missing, or
Dope.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Do you ever start out painting something and then say, you know what, I don't like this. I'm not even going to finish this one. I'm going to start over. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, that's definitely happened.
Really?
Yeah, it's just sometimes, you have something in your head and it doesn't come out at all the way you thought it was going to come out. But then I usually just change it up. I won't just,
scratch it.
Yeah, I'll just try and like go a different direction or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. I was going to say, because me, I'd be like, I have worked too hard on this painting. Somebody is buying this damn painting.
Now, what's your favorite color?
Red, for sure.
Red? Mm-hmm. Wow. Why red?
I don't know. To me, it's like, it's passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. Now, when I think about art and I think about an artist, I think just in one dimension. Mm-hmm. I think, okay, they're creative, they're amazing at art, right? And that's not you. You are creative and amazing at a number of things. So when we come back, I want to talk about not just your art, but I want to talk about the line that you're creating and the fashion that you are obviously inspired by and creating yourself. So when we come back, can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. This is Charline.
And this is Guys Give Matthew.
And we'll be right back on Dash Talk Radio, Lunch with the Finance Bunch. And we have who in the house? RockRug, our artist. Woo! We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. We're tuned in to Dash Talk Radio with your boy God's Gift and Miss Charline. I'm taking over right now with a questionnaire. We're here.
I'm gonna jump in, right?
No. This is my time.
Okay.
Anyways,
I'm just saying.
we are here with our beautiful guest, RockRug, who is very talented. She creates art and fashion, which we're gonna delve into right now. So, Rocky, so the name of your clothing line is called Ilva. Designs, which is found in ancient, it's an ancient Swedish word that we found out for she-wolf, which is dope, and it's also your middle name.
Yeah.
So what made you come up with the concept of dedicating your line to that name?
Well, she-wolf represent, being a strong, powerful woman.
So she's an inner beast, y'all. Watch out.
Yeah. And I think that's what I feel like my line reflects, and that's why I wanted to go with it. Something that, how should I say it? Something that shows that it's me. This is my line, and
That's
this
powerful.
is what I stand for. And yeah.
That's powerful.
That's
She-wolf. I like that. That's powerful.
I could definitely see Charlene slide into some she-wolf.
I'm gonna get like that's powerful. She-wolf.
Oh man! And so to piggyback off of that, recently you just had a pre-launch for your clothing line at Club Lore. That also was like a women's empowerment and charity event.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to launch my line, obviously, in front of a bunch of people, and I wanted to show some of my art. But I wanted it to stand for. I wanted it to just have more so like a depth to it, and that's when I wanted to do the women empowerment thing, because I have been thinking about the whole thing about not supporting each other, and just seeing that around me and even friends. So I thought this would be a really good place to actually do this and really talk to people and talk about it and start pushing it, because it's something I actually really enjoy talking about. And it was also a charity event. So we were supporting the organization RAIN, which is the organization that's against sexual violence, sexual violence for women. So it's just, something I'm actually really passionate about. I'm actually going to start a YouTube channel about that. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because I really enjoy talking about women empowerment.
Okay.
I really do.
Stay tuned, y'all. YouTube, y'all better be ready.
It's coming.
Oh man! So what can people for this new collection that you're doing the rollout for? What can people expect from it?
Yeah, that's a difficult question, but I like to surprise. I do a lot of customized pieces, which is what I definitely enjoy the most. So I think those are going to be more of the cool stuff. But with the line that I'm launching, I think it's just something that it's like it's going to make you stand out. I like standing out, and I like creating pieces that make you stand out. And I think that's what people are going to expect.
Oh yeah, especially in LA, all the girls like to show out and stand out. So be ready, y'all.
Yeah.
That's what's up. If you could describe your clothing brand in 3 words, what would it be?
3 words. I would say self-love, because it's all about making yourself look good.
Yeah.
It's not all about that, but
For the most
it's
part.
nice to look good in
Yeah.
a
Women
certain
love to
type of
look
clothes.
cute.
Yeah, and just finding pieces that really fits you well. And I love creating pieces that are very well fitted for any type of shape.
Dope.
So it's definitely self-love. That's why I say self-love. And then power or powerful, I guess I would say, because they stand out. And then I would say fantasy. And with fantasy, I mean based on my nerdiness, because my inspiration is definitely the fantasy world. Because I love Elvis, I love that whole thing, and a lot of my pieces are inspired by that. So you'll see more of that once I do the customized clothing too.
Nice. I definitely tip my hat for you to do women's swimwear and just women's wear in general, because for women, it's definitely difficult. Because I have a fashion background, and I know how difficult it is designing women's wear. That's why I never touched it. I was like, I'm going to stay in my lane with men, because I always tell people when it comes to women's wear, you can have 10 women that are 5'8", 120 pounds, but they're all shaped completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard trying to have like a set structure for like how to develop a brand, you know, around women when they're all so curvy, different, everything.
And I feel like I've always had an issue. Anytime I go to a store, I always sew in clothes, like always. It's not fitted for everyone. It's just, and there's a way of creating pieces where it's well fitted for anyone. Like, and I think a lot of people don't do that, and especially people that don't really know much about the female body. Like I have some, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it.
So you're gonna take care of all of that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Making sure you look good.
Okay, and then my next question is, when you were developing your brand, I know that you had like a lot of inspiration, and specifically, I know that you noted that you liked Roberto Cavalli, Elie Saab, and Stella McCartney. And so with those three designers, what was it about them that stood out to you the most that made you gravitate towards liking like the collections that they've produced to get your inspiration?
It's definitely the clean lines, like the line work, the simplicity, but still they use details that makes it stand out. And that's what I love about it.
Dope. Straight to the point. For you, what were some of the challenges that you faced creating your fashion line, especially as an up-and-coming designer?
Money. I think the first thing I was looking to do was have an investor.
Yes.
Because it does cost a lot of money. To,
Shout out to all the investors. We need you and we love you.
But I was working with an investor. It didn't work out because it was a friend. And the person wasn't able to separate business from personal life. And it just, I decided at that point that, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to do this myself. I'm going to have to invest myself.
Yes.
Which is, you know, it takes a lot of your money. It's time consuming. But it's so much worth it to do it yourself. But it's just, you
especially
just have to
once
plan.
you make it to the finish line and you see like how you've grown from start to finish and you finishing the line.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You better,
But you
like, you better
also-
buy my damn clothes.
Right. But you also have more control.
Yeah,
You don't have that
exactly.
because a silent partner is never silent.
No, God,
They're
that
not.
was the issue.
They're never silent.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes they turn and wanted to be the designer, and
They-
I'm like, hey,
yes.
hey, I'm the creative one.
whoa, yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane. Money,
Yeah.
that's it, right? So that makes it more difficult. And I think, you know, also with partnerships, you have to be really careful of people taking advantage.
Oh yeah.
You know, because you know what I've noticed about, you know, people in the arts across the board is that if I'd have to say that, you know, they have a fine eye for what they're creating, but sometimes on the financial end, if your partner is that financial person, you're not paying as close attention, and that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not silent, and I always say, let the creative one beware.
Yeah.
Let the creative one beware, because you know, you see partnerships all the time where the creative person who's putting all their gifts and talents on the table is getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for it. Might take a little bit longer, you know, to do it, but it's within your control.
Yeah.
You have the ability to say yes, no, 3 of these, 1 of those,
Yeah.
5 of those, mind your business. I'm doing it this way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely patience too.
Yeah, it takes
have to be
patience.
patient.
Yeah.
A whole
Yeah.
lot of patience, because I know, like, even for myself being in partnerships before, like the first thing that I learned that I definitely took away from was it's like being in bed with someone. So it's like you're in a relationship
Right.
without the benefits of being in a relationship. Like there is no much sugar and honey going on sometimes.
Most of the
Lordy.
time.
Most of the time, for
That's
sure.
right. So
Yeah.
that's a better way to do it. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have all the control.
I'm definitely glad about it too. Happy about
Yes.
it.
Now, okay, so I do have a question, Matthew. Sorry, I jumped into your right in.
That's
I know.
all right. Go ahead, Char. I love you anyway.
So when you create your first line, how many pieces do you need in that line? I don't know anything about that.
It's always up to you. There's
Is
not
it?
a decide. How do you say it in English? It's not decided.
Okay.
You can have 3 pieces. You can have 15 pieces.
Okay.
It's all up to the designer. So I think that for me, I actually wasn't sure about that either. If there was like, okay, you know, in the fashion industry, are you supposed to have a certain amount of pieces to start with? But it's not
Right.
decided. I mean, you saw Victoria Beckham when she came out and launched her line. She had like I think it was like 5 or 7 pieces
Right, that's
for a
why I
fashion
was-
show, and she could have done like 15 pieces.
Right.
But
Right. That's
just
why
said
I've
that
always
small
been a
amount.
little confused because, you know, some people, like you said, have 5. So I was like, is there a magic number and anything above that is too much
Yeah.
and anything below that is too little? But no.
Nope. You decide.
Okay. So am I invited to your next fashion show?
Oh, for sure.
I want to come.
For sure. I want to have one soon.
Be
again.
careful. This one might want VIP tickets. You want to be right next to the stage.
What's
you wanna
wrong
make sure
with
it looks
that?
Cute. So you want a picture with you.
I want to wear one of your pieces. Just make it a little larger. All of that.
Do whatever
Yep, you're
in your
coming.
power to hide Rocky. Like, I sent this email 3 times. She still ain't got back to me.
Because she's hiding from you, Shar.
She's busy. She's working. She got
terrible.
things to do.
No.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely looking to have one soon again. Yeah, I enjoy having things like that. Events.
Nice.
Yep.
Now to be both again, I'm going back to both because you're the artist and you're also the designer. So when you bring a collection together, so you have art pieces and clothing, right? So how do you do that?
It's a lot of work. I can definitely say that. Even for the event that I just had, I coordinated the whole thing. I was looking to have somebody to do it with me, but I am a little picky. I'm a perfectionist. I didn't really know somebody personally that I felt like I could trust to do all this work with. So it was a lot of work. I was definitely stressed out. I was exhausted. And then on top of it, you know, having to finish the pieces when it came to clothing line and the paintings, it's a lot. But I think working hard with something you're passionate about, it's so good.
Yes.
It still feels so good even though you're stressed out. So
That's what's up.
I love
Now,
it.
For it to be like a full production like you had, did you have like help or did you have like a team on board that helped you with the rollout of it?
no, I did everything until the day of. Then I had people help me out, you know, setting everything up and, you know, all that stuff. But to prepare the show and get everything done, definitely not. I did have one guy named Roland, very good friend of mine. He helped me with the venue. Yeah, basically that. But other than that, yeah.
Oh
I just
man,
had
so
to
you
get
didn't get
everything
any sleep
together.
until after the show.
Oh yeah, I did not sleep. I was exhausted, but it was worth it.
And then during the show, you have to look beautiful and refreshed as though.
yeah, that was a struggle too because I looked like a crackhead after not getting any sleep. Hello guys. It was. I was looking back at pictures. I'm like, oh god, wow, I need some sleep before doing events like that. It was good. Yeah.
So now for our young designers out there who want some advice, what would be a piece of advice you would give them in starting, you know, on an adventure like this?
I think planning for sure. Planning is everything. You know, planning where you want to go with the line, how you want to go about it. If you don't plan and just jump into it, it's going to be a difficult time. I think also networking is extremely important.
Yes.
A lot of people don't think about it, but when you have people around you that are able to help you to move forward with your line or your art, oh my God, it's a blessing. And I definitely have that, you know. And then also, I was going to say something else and just completely blacked out. This this other thing.
Oh, don't worry. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'll have this brilliant thought and it'll just go, woo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely knowing about how to brand yourself. I think
That's
a
a
lot
big
of people
one.
don't know how to brand themselves.
Yes.
Know how to brand yourself, you know, on social media or even when you're throwing an event, like how to be able to reach out to people where they feel like they want to go to your event.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't know how to go about it, and it's really important how to know how to brand yourself or brand, you know, whatever it is that you're working with. Yeah.
Yeah. Making it inviting. So
Yeah,
people will say,
yeah.
wow, I got to be there.
Yeah, if you just say, "Hey, I'm having an art show," and you put a flyer out, nobody's gonna come.
Exactly.
Right.
You need to make it interesting. If even if you have somebody that maybe has a bigger name than you, but you're friends with them, you should tell them to work with you. I don't know, something
Yeah.
like that. You know, just getting it there, or finding somebody that can help you market it the right way. It's a lot to it, but that's why planning really comes into it, where you just have to plan it before
Yeah.
you do it. And
The
a lot of people
success.
just do it. They don't really plan it. Yeah,
Right. So the success is in the details.
basically, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now, with selling art, what was the first time you sold a piece of art and how did that make you feel? You know how you paint something, someone actually buys it, you're like, they bought it? Like, wow, okay, how did that make you feel?
Amazing. I think I didn't start selling my art actually until a couple years ago, while being in LA, because I didn't really think people really, I never thought about selling my art.
Okay.
I just did it because I was passionate about it. And and then I had a friend that was pushing me like, why don't you sell your art? And I'm like, anybody would buy this? Like, I just paint for myself.
Me and Char were just having this conversation
Yes.
before on air. And what did you tell me?
That when you have something, you don't necessarily know the value of it.
Yeah.
You know, you're really doing it for your own pleasure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so when someone buys it, you're almost shocked.
Oh, yeah, for
Right?
sure.
Like, you're going to buy this? Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
You're
okay.
going to give me money for
You're going to
this?
give me
Yeah,
money for
I was
this?
shocked, yeah.
Right?
And my first piece, I would always remember, the first piece I sold was, I sold it for $500. And I was like shocked. Like, he wants to buy this for $500?
I'd be like,
I
man,
was like,
need you
what?
to
And I never
introduce-
sold a piece before that. And it made me realize how much you need to value your work and
That's
value your
right.
time, whatever it is that you're doing that you're passionate about. Like, people are actually willing to put money into it.
Exactly. You have to know your worth. I like
yeah,
that.
definitely.
So now when you sell a piece and you say, okay, that piece is $2,000.
Oh, yep.
You say it without blinking an eye.
Yeah.
You either want it or you don't.
Yeah.
No discounts.
Yeah.
No
Definitely.
discounts, right?
I mean, occasional discounts, but still.
Right, 2 pieces. 1,800 a piece versus the 2,000.
Yeah.
Buy more, save more.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, but it's a good feeling like, knowing that, your stuff is worth something, and just, yeah, it's a good feeling for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm wishing you all the luck. We're not going anywhere, but I just know, I can tell, sometimes we have guests come on. I can just see in you the success.
Oh, I love that.
I can see it because it's in the details. And that's why I asked you that question about, who helps you. Because if you do it right, even if you don't do it right the first time,
Yeah.
but if you take all the steps yourself, then you know what people are or are not doing when you get to a part of your career where you're really like, you have 3 or 4 different collections. You have, whatever you're into, right? And your art, and you're not the one actually putting it together anymore.
Yeah.
But you'll know when someone misses a step
Oh, yeah,
because you did it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no, that doesn't, no, you didn't do that, right? Back
Yeah.
up, start again,
Yeah.
right? So it's always the details is where the success is, and
Yeah.
doing the details yourself at least the first time.
Yeah. I think it's really important to know that even if you fail, you just keep going. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah. Don't
Exactly.
be scared of failure.
For sure. Because what you can do is what we always say, you can fail your way to success.
Fail your
Yeah.
way to
Oh, for
success.
sure.
That's what most people do.
Yeah. I like that.
Now, when I think of art, when I think of fashion, I think about how you can create financial security within that. So when we come back, I want to talk about the financial side of it. This is Lunch with the Finance Bunch. And to be creative and be able to do all that you do, there has to be a side that gets paid for this. And I kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I really want to explore the money. Can we
Go
come-
ahead, do the
can we-
Birdman. Rub your hands, Char.
Can we come back and talk about the
Playboy, it's all
money?
about the cash.
I'm Charline,
This guy is Matthew.
and this is Lunch with the Finance Bunch on Dash Talk Radio, and we'll be right back. And we're back in the studio here at Dash Talk Radio on Lunch with the Finance Bunch.
Woo.
Whoop, whoop. And so when we left off, we were talking about, to RockRug, about finance. We were getting ready to get into that. And so, with art and with designing, it's very expensive. I heard you mention that, that it can be very expensive as you progress.
Yeah.
Right? So with our listeners, they always want to know, okay, I want to be a designer, I'm an artist. How do I fund that?
Yeah.
So do you have any tips for funding?
I mean, you need an income.
Bottom line,
Yeah.
get a job
bottom
if you don't
line,
have
you
one.
still need a job.
Right.
So I work as creative director, and so I still make money. I work Monday to Thursday, 11 to 5. And then I go, straight home, and I continue working on my own stuff. Weekends, I work on my own stuff. So I don't work that often, but I work enough so that I could finance my own stuff and,
Right.
really push it. Yeah.
So you get that hustle on.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make that as a point because sometimes I think people sit and they think, okay, I want to do this and I want to do this. But where's the money going to come from? You have to be practical.
Yeah.
So that's the practical side of this show.
Yeah.
So I thank you for saying that, because you do have to be able to fund your projects, especially if you want to have control.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means you have to budget.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly,
Took words
right?
right out of my mouth. Budget.
Did you say
Definitely.
budget?
I know. I'm all about spend.
We're working on that, though. We're
We
working
ain't
on
working
that.
on nothing. Keep spending, y'all.
Oh, Matthew. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. You want to get into the rapid fire questions?
Yeah, so I'm going to take over. Okay, so Rocky, I'm just going to, this is our rapid portion of the show where I'm just going to ask you like one word things, and then you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when I tell you the one word.
Oh, okay.
No
go ahead.
pressure. I see your heart is beating kind of fast.
I have
God.
one too, but go ahead.
You don't get to ask no question. My turn. All right, anyway. Family. What comes to mind?
I would say love, but that sounds, yeah.
We love you, family.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Fame.
Success.
Wow, blackout.
Okay, money.
Traveling.
Kanye West.
Stubborn.
Legacy.
Family.
Boom. Okay, you're at the hot seat, Rocky. Shout out to Kanye. That's my man.
Okay, I have a question.
What's the question, Shar?
If you were on an island and could only take 5 things with you, what would those 5 things be?
A knife.
I like it.
Straight out the gate.
Straight out the gate.
The she-wolf
weapon.
has arrived, y'all.
A knife.
Okay.
You know, the rock thing. I don't know what you call it in English that you can make fire with.
Okay.
I know all about the wildlife stuff. My mom taught me.
So that's 2.
Rocky's
rock
putting together
too.
the ultimate survival kit, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Besides that, those are the most important things. Oh, blanket.
A blanket.
Yeah, blanket. I don't know if the phone would work, but if I could bring a phone,
the
I would bring the
phone.
phone.
Make sure you get the reception.
Just
Somebody
sure.
get me up out of
Yeah,
here. I got
I
a
mean,
knife. I
yeah.
got some rocks for fire.
And if none of that work, I'm ready to go.
yeah. And then, yeah, I don't know. That would be those main things. I don't know, 5 things.
But she started with a knife.
I know. I was like, man,
That's
I
that
did not see
she-wolf,
it going
I'm
that
telling
way.
you.
at all.
I
First
didn't
thing that
either.
popped up.
This
I was thinking
escalated quickly.
lipstick,
Survival.
you know.
That's what I was thinking.
She said I was about survival. Never mind all that. That's cool.
That is funny. So, Shar, you ready to do this balance sheet?
Yes, this part we call the balance sheet.
Okay.
So my first question is, what is the most memorable paycheck you've ever received? Now, we don't have to know the amount unless you want to share
Or
it.
we can. No, just kidding.
No, just kidding. What was the most memorable paycheck you've ever received?
Well, to me, memorable was the first time I got paid for my art.
Dope.
And
Dope.
that was the $500. So
Right.
if we say that out loud.
Validation.
Yeah, it was memorable because it was the first amount of, the first paycheck for a art piece. And it was a high amount to me because I never even sold art before. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Nice. So is there something you've purchased that you regret?
There's a lot of things I've purchased that I regret. I can definitely say, in all sincerity, I'm a shopaholic.
Okay.
I love shopping. So I literally have to make a list of the things I need because I will go overboard. So there's plenty
I'm
of
with
things.
you on that, Rocky. We could go shopping together.
Oh, Matt.
Don't look at me, Shar. I'm trying not to make eye contact. Next question.
What does success mean to you?
Success means financial freedom, to be able to do whatever I want. And to me, whatever I want is just being able to travel whenever with my future family. Yeah.
And this is a question that's not in here, but it came up in my mind. We talked just a little bit about empowering women.
Mm-hmm.
If there was no limit to money, no limit to time, what would you do in that regard?
I think actually what I'm about to do, just have events and, do my YouTube channel
Yes.
and talk about it because I think it's really important. I grew up with very strong women. My mom is a feminist and she does everything herself. Like, she is, wow. Oh, if you guys knew everything about her, you'll be shocked. But
Shout out to Rocky's mom. We
Yes.
love you.
Exactly.
and I think she just made me very strong-minded. I met a lot of people that are what I would call weak-minded,
Yes.
the people that are easily pushed over or or that doesn't, like I said, support or whatever. There's just so much to it. And I think it's really important to speak about it and to push and empower and support, women around yourself. So I would definitely really put time into that, and then paint.
Yeah.
And do all that creative stuff, because I still do that. Yeah, I would still do that.
But that speaks volumes to who you are as a person, to even care enough to want to bring attention to something that is, it's a problem.
Yeah.
What keeps you up at night, if anything?
Everything I want to accomplish. I have my goals and I set them pretty high. And so I can definitely get stressed out thinking about everything that I need to do, the next day and the next week. And, there's definitely some sleepless night.
Wow.
Too much going on.
Now, since you're a twin, how does your sister play into that? Because if I had a twin, I would keep her up at night. Like, girl, I just thought of this. Help me out. So does she get involved too?
Not really. She's just like my stress reliever. Sometimes I'll just call her around like, oh my God, like you just need to calm me down. Like I have so much going on in my head. And she's just like, okay, calm down. She'll, talk me through it or whatever. And yeah, she's my rock for sure. Oh my God.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So what has your, I know you talked about being in animation, what has that done for you? The education part of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I also took business in school.
Okay.
So like our last 3 years in high school in Sweden is like, it's technically like college. So I took business for 3 years. And I think that was mainly what did a lot for me, because you learn a lot about budgeting and, accounting, all that stuff. And I think it was really helpful even starting my business.
You said that this is in high school?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. We have it so backwards.
The United States, we got to catch up, yo.
We don't even teach it in college.
Oh,
No.
really?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
Am I screaming into the microphone? I saw a cue. That's like a hot spot for me.
Yeah.
So in Sweden, they actually teach you.
Yeah, the last 3 years, you pick a major. So I picked business because I was like, okay, you know what? I don't really know what I want to do yet. And this is a good way to go.
This is in high school?
Yeah.
Lord Jesus. Yeah, we got to step our game
We
up.
need to revamp.
Sorry to cut you off. I'm just like, my mind
No.
is blown right now.
I mean, I have thought about the school system out here. I do think there's
It's
a
backwards.
lot. Yeah, I have issues with the American government.
Yes, we
For
do
sure.
too.
I'm just, there's a lot of disappointments here and there where I'm like, this is not cool. But yeah, Sweden definitely has a really good education system. That I can definitely say.
Well, I like the fact that you took business, because I think that's usually the missing link, so that you have, you're savvy. You know what to and what not to do.
Yeah,
See?
that was very
Wow.
helpful. For
Amazing.
sure.
If you won the lottery right now, what would you do with the money aside from giving me some of it?
I was going to say, before you answer that, we're all friends here. Let me scoot a little closer.
I'm gonna scoot a little closer too.
I would
Rocky girl.
definitely send money to my family.
And
I
friends.
would,
And friends.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, cool. We
I would
covered.
invest in my business, and I would go on vacation, on a long vacation.
A long vacation.
Where would,
Yeah, I love
where would the
traveling.
first destination be?
Bali.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Some fun in the sun.
Some
Yeah,
fun.
I would go on
and-
adventures over there, zip lining, skydiving.
with her knife.
yeah, with my knife.
She has a knife and a rock.
Oh, that's scary.
in case.
Like somebody point me in the direction of skydiving.
Right.
That's scary. Yeah, I don't carry around knives in general. Just saying.
Why not? So now, if we wanted to find you on social media, I've already found you.
Yeah.
And I promise not
And
to.
liked your pictures from 221 weeks ago.
I didn't do
by the
it.
way.
You told me not to. I didn't do it. I even
believe
told
her.
my friend, this is a funny little story, and I know, here we go. So I told my friend, I was looking at your Instagram last night, and I was like, man, she's got such beautiful art. And her pictures, I love all of her pictures. Look at the fashion. I was all over it. So she said, oh, let me look. So she started following you too. And I said, okay, Matthew said, don't double click on anything, especially if it's more than a month or so old, because we'll look like a stalker. So we were literally going through your pictures like back a year ago and loving them. And then, but I remembered in my head that Matthew said, don't do that, because is that true? Would I look like a stalker if I went back and kind of liked your old picture.
He was already shaking his
I
head.
should just-
It's
I-
like
I
you
would-
start thinking about it a little bit. Oh wow, she's all the way down there. And
How
okay.
long
I don't
have
know
you been
why.
on
It's
my page?
automatically. Yeah.
So just know that I love you. I love your pictures, and I absolutely love your art. And the fashion is amazing. And I
Thank
did go
you.
back like really far.
Exactly,
But-
because you would not be getting an invitation to her next fashion show. She'd be like,
Stalker.
curve.
I do love that you did that though.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And I appreciate anybody that appreciates me and my art and my fashion.
That's good. So now, if other people want to be able to find you, where would they find you at, Rocky?
Either on my own personal page, RockRug, where I have my art. I'm gonna actually launch the website for my art as well. Or my my clothing line is at Ylva Designs.
Okay.
It's easier if you just go to RockRug and then click on Ylva Designs, because I know a lot of people don't know how to spell Ylva. But yeah, those are the two that I use. I don't use Twitter. I don't use my Facebook. I only use my Facebook for my family and friends in Sweden. And but like I said before, I'm actually going to start a YouTube channel because I do enjoy that.
So we're going to have to look forward to that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. I was looking forward to this, and you did not disappoint me. You have been amazing.
Thank you. I'm so happy I could get to come.
Definitely. So when you get ready to have your next fashion show, if you'd like to come back and promote it, we'll be right here
Yay.
on
Oh
Tuesdays.
yeah, for sure. You can even showcase some of your pieces.
Oh, that
Oh,
would
wow.
be nice. I
Everybody
like
can get a little
it.
sneak peek.
Yeah, we could go right in that little room over there and do a little fashion show. Am I going too far?
You're going too far. Okay,
I got
just her
excited.
sneak way of saying she wants to model some of the stuff, and she does a full turnaround.
I got
and
excited.
we get all. She's going to show you her runway walk too. So get ready.
I actually have a runway walk. Okay. Matthew, this is Charline.
This is Goddess Gift Matthew. Go ahead and flip your hair for the people one time that's going to be watching your show. There we go.
We have RockRug in the studio with us today, and I'm loving it. She's a designer, and she also is an artist, a very, very, very talented artist. And I want to thank you for coming on our show. This has been really a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is Charline. Tune in to Lunch with the Finance Bunch at noon on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at noon on Dash Talk Radio.
There we go.
We'll see you there. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. I'm your host, Miss Charline, on Dash Talk Radio.
Tuesdays at noon. I'm God's gift.